New World Order, you underestimated the people. You took a gamble and you lost.
Okay, we don't like this. Okay, well then we're going to do this, and that is just how it's going to be.
Evidence brought to light that there is a corrupt officer, or that officer did shoot that kid on purpose.
I don't care how I look, I don't care how I sound, I don't care what the beat is. I just care the message gets across.
Am I pissing you off, Papa? Did my words offend you? Do you think me racist? Do you hate me because I dare to say and do what many of you only think? Well, I must, because I got you all talking. Seems I've struck a nerve. But since I've opened that door and got you all talking, let's talk. Let's recap why I called Obama a nigger. And let's dive a little deeper into this, because it seems that many of you probably didn't watch the video because of the title, or didn't watch it all the way through, or were just so shocked about what I said in that first initial sentence that everything else just kind of went in one ear and out the other. So let's recap. Why did I call Obama the N-word? I used that word in the literal context as it is originally defined, which is an ignorant person. Has absolutely nothing to do with the color of the man's skin, where he's from, none of that shit. Race doesn't mean shit to me. As far as I'm concerned, the only race is the human race. This racial division bullshit is just that, bullshit. And I'll dive into that in a little bit here. But for right now, let's just discuss the reasons you're pissed off. Most of you are pissed off because I am white and used the N-word. Apparently that's a big no-no, which I think is kind of silly, because I was talking to a gentleman last night who was saying that because I'm white, I don't have a right to say that word. Otherwise, I'm racist because I use that word and I'm white. But if a black person uses that word, it's somehow okay. And I find that completely ridiculous. And why do I find it ridiculous? One, if it's offensive to the black community, when a white person says it, or even a Hispanic says it to a black person, then it should be equally, if not more, offensive for a black to say it, because they know how offensive it is. They know how hurtful it is. So they should want to hold themselves to a higher moral standard than that, rather than just calling each other that and then getting pissed off when somebody of another race says it. That's just utterly ridiculous. If it's not okay for me to say it, it should be okay for anybody to say it, including that race. That's just my opinion. My second point to that is, nowadays, and for quite some time, there is no such thing as a pure race. Pure race has gone out the window. I, as a quote white person, can guarantee you, if you trace my genealogy back, you'll likely find some African American, some Native American, maybe some Oriental or Mexican, or this or that. You'll find a great deal of diversity in my bloodline. And so it is with practically every bloodline on the planet. Hence why I say there is no race but the human race. Racial diversity is an illusion. So, for me to use the N-word as a racial slur, which I didn't, or for anybody, I should say, for anybody to insinuate that I am using the N-word in a racial context is completely bogus. Because there's no such thing as a pure race. The quote black community has just as much diversity in it as the white, Hispanic, or Oriental communities. We're all mixed together nowadays, so it seems. Have been for some time. So this racial divide bullshit is just plain that. It's bullshit. But if you want to play the whole racial card, that's fine. Think what you want. I don't really give a damn. I have many black friends. Many of them, in fact most of them, call Obama the N-word more than I ever have. You know, I've only said it maybe a few times. Whereas a lot of my, quote, black friends say it 10, 20 times more than I ever will in a lifetime. So just think about that. Now, on to the definition of the word. It is originally defined in Webster's dictionary and every other dictionary. If you go back and get an older dictionary, whether Webster's or any other dictionary, and look up the term nigger or niggered, it's going to define the word in reference to ignorance. Whether it's an ignorant person or describing a person as ignorant. And I've already discussed what ignorance means. And if you want to say that ignorance is racism, then that's on you. But I'm not being racist. Now, had I said Obama was a spear chucker or a porch monkey or something like that, then yeah, I can understand you calling me a racist. But for me to use the N-word as it was originally defined is not racist. And to insinuate such is downright foolish and, dare I say, blind. And for those of you who claim to be awake, I take offense to that, because you should know better. You really should. You should know what I say and what I mean by now. Because we've been doing this a long time. We've been doing our research. We got our facts and our ducks in a row. We know what's what. And if you're stuck in the racial divide rather than accepting the reality that there is no division and there are no borders, then you're stuck. And I don't even know what to call it. But you're stuck in a mindset of not thinking outside the box the way you should. Which is sad. Speaking of activists, last night when I shared my video all over social media, I received a comment on the activist Facebook group Project Mayhem 2.0. And in the comment, they called me a sorry-ass bigot and an attention whore. Which, the attention whore part is not entirely untrue. I do put myself out there and draw attention to myself. I won't deny that. But I don't do it for the reasons that you think. I am not an attention whore in the sense that I am being referred to. I draw attention to myself to get the message across. It's not about gaining attention for myself or gaining support and subscribers and all that shit. It's simply to get the message across. And in order to get people to hear your message, you have to first get their attention. So, I go out of my way to get their attention. There's an old saying in business: controversy creates cash. It's a common practice in all forms of media, whether television, movies, sports, such as wrestling and boxing and shit like that. That shit draws the people's attention, gets them watching. So it's a good marketing strategy. And yeah, I do and say things to get people's attention, not because I'm trying to fucking boost my ratings or anything, but just to simply get the message across. That's all there is to it. It's about getting the message across. And yeah, this video has created a lot of controversy. And it's not without its share of costs. Since last night, I've lost 10 subscribers. And I'll probably lose a few more. But that doesn't matter to me. Because if I can reach just one person, whether they be one sheeple who's still asleep, or somebody who just needed a little bit of hope and inspiration, depending on the video and its content. Whether it be somebody who needs that hope and inspiration, and one of my videos maybe reached them and got their attention and gave them that hope. Or something I say, or a fact that I present in one of my videos gets a person to stop and think, or teaches them something that they didn't know. Like, for instance, with my last video, how many people actually know that the word nigger originally means ignorant person, and initially didn't have anything to do with race or the color of a person's skin? How many people actually knew that? But the information was there, and they didn't know it. But after seeing my video, they now knew it. They now know that nigger really means ignorant person. So if I could do that for just one, maybe two people, the sacrifice is worth it. I'm willing to lose 100 activists if it means I can reach just one sheeple. If it means I can wake up one more person, or teach somebody something they didn't know, or gave somebody hope where otherwise they had none and were on the verge of giving up. That's why I go out of my way to get people's attention. That's why I put the spotlight on myself. And I also put the spotlight on myself by saying and doing things that most of you are already thinking, but don't have the fucking cojones to do. How many of you have actually thought about what I said and actually just got offended for the simple fact that I said it and you didn't. And what kind of a world would it be if people actually said and did a lot of the things that they were thinking? In a positive aspect. I'm not saying, if you think about murder, go out and killing somebody. Heavens, no. But if you're thinking of a solution, if you're an activist and you thought of a solution, but it's just way out there and you don't think people would accept it because it's not politically correct. So you keep your mouth shut and you don't say anything. What would the world be like if we had more people like that taking the initiative to say the right things even though it's not politically correct? To do the right things even though it's not politically correct. That's why I do what I do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not out to be politically correct. I'm not out there to schmooze people and kiss their ass. Yeah, I have a high number of subscribers. Why? Because people can relate to what I'm saying. Because I'm real. And occasionally I will say things that butthurt certain people. But that's just a price you have to pay for being real. Doesn't make me racist. It just makes me your everyday asshole speaking the truth. And for those of you who don't like it, is it just for the fact that you don't want to deal with the truth? Would you rather just call me racist than accept the truth that the word nigger really means ignorant person and it has nothing to do with the color of someone's skin? It's just shit to think about. I'm not racist. I have black friends. I have African American blood in me. There is no such thing as racial division. There's only the human race. Wake up, people. You're playing this division bullshit like it means something. Start thinking.